everybody, it's Jai'len Josey, and you're tuned in to Next Level Podcast. Welcome to Next Level Podcast. But before we get into this amazing interview, I would like to shout out our team: Skyy, creator and executive producer; Emma J, producer; Jeremy Hart, producer and audio; and Swain, videographer. Now, let's enter the Skyy Lounge.
Welcome to the Next Level Podcast, where we bring you the latest in hip-hop culture straight from the Skyy Lounge. I'm your host, Liz, and you already know we're bringing you the exclusive interviews with some of your favorite celebrities and artists. So like we always do it, go ahead, sit back, relax, and get ready to level up with our special guest from East Atlanta, Jai'len Josey.
Hey.
How you doing, beautiful?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. You know, it's a little cold outside, but
yes, it is.
This nice little chocolate's going to warm us up. We're going to have a good conversation.
Are you giving me compliments already?
Yes. Okay, look, before we get into the conversation, we always do like a little icebreaker question. So you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. What's one talent, because if y'all didn't know, she's extremely talented, but what's one talent you wish you had that you don't?
Ooh. What's one talent that I wish I had that I just don't have? Ooh, whistling. You know how people can put their fingers in their mouth and whistle? I cannot do that for the love of life.
I feel you.
I can't do that. I was at a football game the other day, or a soccer game or whatever, and these people were in the stands communicating with each other while whistling, and it was like traveling. It was loud. I was like, I wish I could do that. I cannot do that at all. They put their fingers in their mouth and do it.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
It is like a little skill. I wish I had too. So I feel you on that. Okay, interesting. Now let's get right into the conversation. You're signed to Def Jam. Big ups for that. Tell me how the opportunity came about.
It came through a beautiful person by the name of Tevz Makuvela. He was an A&R from a label that I was signed to before called Hillman Grad.
Okay.
Lena Waithe's label.
Right.
Out of that, I believe some things happened, and I just moved straight on to Def Jam.
I got you.
So, people found out about me through Hillman Grad, just traveled on to the major part of it.
I know that's right. And who or what would you say was your biggest influence for making that decision? Because that's a big decision.
Who is my influence on making that decision? Shoot, my family. I need folks need to get, I need to help people out. I need to make moves. I need to support myself. You know, it wasn't it was a hard decision because, nowadays people are like, oh, you should just be indie and this, that, and the third, because there's really no difference being, under a label and then being indie at this point, because, labels are just big old banks. But I think the decision was made because I know that I need to take care of my family. So my family influenced me.
Oh, shout out to your family.
My mom's here.
Yes, shout out to mom. Now, speaking of being signed to Def Jam, we have to give you a huge congratulations.
Thank you.
For being the first artist on Def Jam's roster to perform the national anthem at Madison Square Garden. Super, super big. So tell me, how important was that opportunity for your career?
I think it was very important. I think it's not going to be the last time that I do it.
I know that's right.
By the grace of God.
Yes.
But it was very important. I know that for me, I think that was the biggest audience that I've ever performed in front of. So I think, it was important in a way of growth, the next stepping stone. But knowing that it's not my last stepping stone.
Yes, that's so true. And I saw on your Instagram the celebration afterwards. And I just loved it because it was just so genuine and so pure. And, you could tell you were present in the moment and soaking it up. So, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, being signed, obviously it's different from being independent. Do you feel pressure being signed to Def Jam? Because we know Def Jam is pretty big.
Yeah, they most definitely are pretty big, but no, I don't feel no pressure. Me and my manager, Taryn Janae Ankrum, are moving like an indie label. We are moving like an indie label. We're moving like we don't got a label behind us, which we are very appreciative that we do have a label behind us and that they are, giving us, a lot of bountiful opportunities.
Yeah.
But you can't really wait for a label because again, like you got to think about it, like those people at the label, they work a 9 to 5, they clock in and clock out like we don't. So
No.
No.
So basically, no.
No. Basically.
Yes. I love it. You were born for this. Now, okay. I know you're probably like, what is that question? So for our viewers, our listeners, they know what this is. But for those tuning in and for you, this is the sound of our challenge that we call Level Up, okay?
Oh.
And every time you hear that song, we're going to play this quick little game.
Okay.
And what I will do is give you 3 questions.
Yeah.
If you answer each question, a lucky fan of yours back home will win a nice little prize. You know, we love prizes.
Period.
So you got to do it for the fans.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you ready?
Mm.
First question. If you were to select one of these artists to collaborate on an album with, who would it be and why? It's between Jasmine Sullivan or Victoria Monet.
Oh, y'all did me dirty. Okay, I got to think about the context of what this album is right now. Is this on this? I'm timed, right? I got to be quick.
Producer,
I gotta be quick.
he said yep.
Thinking about what my album is right now, it would have to be Jasmine.
Okay.
Only because of the context of what's happening right now. But like in later albums, most definitely Victoria Monet. That was a beautiful question, but it hurt me to the core to have to pin them both against each other because I love them both so much.
And I can see it.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to happen. Like, no doubt about it. Okay, see, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
1 down, 2 more to go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, back to the question. So, you being from Atlanta, would you say that Atlanta has influenced your sound in any type of way? And if it has, how?
I definitely think Atlanta's influenced my sound. I went to Tri-Cities High School where Outkast went and Candy Burst went there too. And I feel like the South really like I don't know, it's just something about the texture of the music. Like I remember being in high school and, being around like music theater kids, which I was also a music theater kid, and just like sitting in the theater and also listening to the orchestra play in the pit. And so it's something different about like Southern players, people who actually like know a little bit about music theory and they know a little bit about the South. It's different of like how people, musicians in the church play rather than, people from another, place in the world. But I believe definitely that the South has impacted my music in so many ways. Yeah, that's why I got a song called Southern Delicacy. I'm a rep that till I die.
And I love it. Like being a Southern belle myself.
Yeah.
Just something different about, being from the South.
So
and I
different.
just love how you, like, I've never heard Southern Delicacy. So I really like how you're taking that on and you're standing like, standing on business with it because, it needs to be, the South got something to say.
Exactly.
And you're saying it, so
exactly.
I love that. Okay, so I want to know, because you've talked about music being therapeutic for you being on stage and feeling comfortable and, just knowing that's where you belong. So when did it click to you, or when did you, like, really know, like, music was therapeutic for you?
When it was healing me. When I was creating music, so first I was on Broadway, and in between shows, I would be creating these like songs. Well, I guess that's not where it started first. That's when my music started to heal me. But I think first I knew music was healing me when I was like listening to it. My mom had a Jeep Liberty, and like the CDs that she would play, she would put in the CD player in the Jeep Liberty, and we would just like go through all of her old music and the stuff that she would cling to and whatnot. And I feel like those songs, it sends off a signal. Either she cleaning, either we about to go drive, either, something. And I feel like those are aspects that heal me in a way. It's therapeutic to know that when I'm down, I have something to lean on to bring out the sunshine in my day. I know for myself, like creating music, I know that when I create a bomb song that makes me feel good and I can put out a snippet and people are like, oh my gosh, what is that? Then I know that I'm on the path of actually making a song that could possibly heal. I feel like the beauty in music in itself is the aspect of like sonically healing somebody. I think Janae Aiko does a crazy fire way of like healing people. She, do the sound bowls and this, that, and the third. And I feel like that's her way of healing folks. And I feel like I am trying to find a way of healing people through like orchestral music. And I think classical music, you know, like jazz, all of those type of things are healing properties that music has.
So true.
And I feel like those are all therapeutic things. I don't know when I realized that music was therapeutic, but I mean, besides listening to my mom's music, but I just know that you know, I needed it.
Yeah. I feel you 100%. So many of us need it, and my mom's a music teacher, so
really,
like, I feel you at a young age, just knowing how music can trigger so many different emotions, can make you think of different times in your life, or you know, just help you to even bring out emotions, or just be a different version of yourself. So. Absolutely love it. Okay, so earlier you talked about your team. You have an amazing team. You guys have been working real hard, doing your thing. So when it came to finding the team that was going to be behind making your dream a reality, what qualities did you look for when searching for a manager?
I don't think I was looking. I think it kind of just was God-given. It kind of like fell out of the sky. Funny story, there was this person who was trying to acquire me at first, and Taryn was working with them, and you know, I guess Taryn was trying to help do the marketing side of it, trying to like, you know, for my first EP. And while putting out that first EP, I think the first person just decided to like leave the situation. You know, people just, I guess just didn't want to follow through or whatever. But Taryn actually felt like she needed to stay. And I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
So when somebody shows loyalty to me, I'm going to always try to show loyalty back to them. And I feel like that's when the bond just came together, and it was like very like sent from heaven-esque, you know. And she's a woman, she's a black woman. At the end of the day, I feel like the connection that she and I have sometimes, it's rocky because she's like my sister. It's like, it's rocky, but it's beautiful at the end of the day. She has her goals, I have my goals, and you know, God is giving her a path and God is giving me a path, and they just collide and they mesh really well, you know. So I just feel like I'm working with my family member, I'm working with my sister, you know. So
I love that. And I feel like a lot of people should really take heed to what you're saying, because I feel like so many times we may work with people, but we don't even really have a true friendship. And I just feel that friendship is the true foundation for every relationship in your life. So
it's crazy. People be saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be mixing friendship with this, that, and the third." And you know, I personally believe that me and Taryn are the exception. Like, I guess folks be saying business and pleasure, but I feel like that's different. That's different. But I feel like Taryn and I are the exception. Yes, we, have our ups and downs, but I feel like that's every healthy relationship. As long as we know how to communicate out of those, I think that's the only thing. And then we get right back to business and we make even bigger plays than the ones before.
Period. Love to hear it. Okay, now you have been on Broadway, did your thing, and I want to ask you, what was the most rewarding about being on Broadway, but then what was also the most challenging aspect of being on Broadway? Because a lot of people don't know, what goes on. We see the nice show, the costumes, the vocals, but it's different when you're a part of Broadway.
What was the most rewarding part about Broadway first? I guess learning how to perform in real time. Like, I went to college for a year and then went straight to work, but I was going to college for music theater. And I feel like in my job now as an artist, I gotta perform for people and convey an audience. I gotta like really sell my music through, performing, and gotta connect with people. And I feel like doing that at a young age, I really am thankful that Broadway opened the doors to that. And the audience was different than the audience now. It's not like a concert audience. It's people are going to see a Broadway show. They clap when they're supposed to clap. It's not like they about to cheer you on through your songs all the way through. I think I am very thankful for that. I'm also a reward about Broadway was also just the exposure. I don't think I would be where I am right now if it wasn't for Broadway. Even though I have my I got my little icks about it sometimes, but I'm very thankful that it happened, because if it didn't happen, I definitely wouldn't have the platform that I have now. The challenges were that I do believe back then I had a community. I had a community, but I was like 19, 18, 19, 20 trying to figure out, am I just being like this black girl who's being used for her like big voice? And back then I was thicker. Yeah. So like it's easy to put, a black girl in the box, it's this big black girl who can sing, you know. And I think a while it made me feel as if I just wanted to be the odds. I just didn't want to be in no box. And I feel like if I had continued, then that it probably possibly could have worked out. But I just it's hard to say this without saying it. I'm very thankful. The challenge was that I just felt like I was in a box.
I got you.
Yeah, but I ain't in a box no more. So, I'm making my own lane for myself. But
Yes, you really are. And you've accomplished. Okay, so
that is wild. Oh my God.
Are you ready for question number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you want to act as you in a biopic film? So we about to make a film about you. We trying to cast somebody to play you. Who would you choose?
I don't know.
This voice.
I don't. I don't think I lived enough life. I haven't lived enough life. Could I say? Could it be my alter ego? I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll have a better answer when I get older.
Okay. But for now, we gonna say alter ego.
Yeah.
That's answering the question, correct? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now, as we were saying, you have literally accomplished a lot in your career so far. From at a young age, winning a Jimmy Award, again, being on Broadway, working with Rock the Bells, performing at South by Southwest, like so much more. You doing the thing. But I want to know, do you truly take the time to like relish in these accomplishments and soak it all in? Or are you like one of those artists who are like, okay, what's next? Like, I'm ready to achieve something else. Or have you mastered just being present and enjoying exactly where you are with that accomplishment?
It comes in waves. I don't think I've mastered being in the moment, but when I feel like I'm like at my happiest and I can like breathe, I'm in that moment, but then it's like, I feel like I keep bringing this up. I feel like as a Scorpio, I feel like I need to keep it pushing, keep it going. And I'm very thankful for the things that God's placed on my plate. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm just sitting at my house for like a day or two after coming in from a flight, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Yeah. What's going on? Like, I have that issue. Yeah. But I do know that like when I'm in LA or if I'm in like a place for work and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh wow, I'm actually doing, the things that I prayed for, a while back. So it comes in waves. It's like I be having mental emotions, health issues, yada yada yada. Yeah. Don't let it be PMS.
Hello. Get out my way.
Shoot. What's the next thing? I need it now. Yeah.
I understand 100%. Yeah. Now I like to talk to women about this a lot, but especially Black women, because I know it's something that I've dealt with, and I just love to be transparent with our audience, and that's imposter syndrome. So I just want to ask, like, have you ever gone through that? And if you did, what helped you to snap out of that and just like really know that like you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there? Like, you're very talented and you can do this.
It's so tricky. I feel like once I get to the places and like these, let's take Grammy week for instance. So we were in LA and we were at these crazy places and we were around these faces and like, it's crazy. Like it's not like I wasn't supposed to be there, because like folks knew me. I was like, but it was weird. It was like, imposter syndrome is wild. It's like you're not cognizant of the space that you're in at that moment. And
Yeah.
Until you're in that moment too. And I feel like I never cry about it. I'm just stunned. It's like, this is kind of weird. Oh, another thing, like when I be on Instagram, I go live and I usually have like, this happened a couple days ago. Like I usually would just be on live with like 30 people. Like now it's almost up to like 200 to like 300 people on it. I'm like, this is weird. Yeah. I've never seen this many people. I'm scared. So, you know, but then you got to like realize that like as your career grows, people watch and it's just I don't know. I don't think I've mastered it. I don't think I've mastered it at all. Like I'm still stunned when things happen. So, you know, I hope, you know, pray to God that I, you know, get through that. But, you know, after a while, I feel like it's just a thing where you have to like realize that you're in a space that you're supposed to be in because, you know, God wouldn't have you in those spaces that you weren't supposed to be in. So after a while, you just have to like own it and be like
that part,
you know, because then folks look at it and be like, and mind you, you could be huge at this point and you still got imposter syndrome. Somebody looking at you like, this girl playing, like she knows she, you know, and but you sitting up there like, I'm really kind of like, why am I here, you know what I mean? So
it's a real thing,
it's a wild thing.
And like I was you know, as a producer, I was doing research for one of my shows and saw where Cardi B was, I mean, what she was saying was yelling, screaming, imposter syndrome. Because she was like, I want to work with Rihanna, but I don't want to ask her because I don't want to sound dumb. Like, what, Cardi B?
You Cardi B.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's crazy how someone so big could allow, like, you know, and she's human, so I get it. But thoughts, your mindset is just so powerful. So, woo, I'm glad we spoke on it. And yes,
and it's like you don't even be knowing what you're saying, and people be just like how we like you Cardi B, like people, you don't even know.
Yeah, it's so true. Now, you know, like you said, you went from 30 to about 200 people on this live. Yes, honey, because your fans know you are super dope. Your voice is definitely one of a kind, and you've been doing these covers, killing it. First of all, when I saw the Whitney Houston, I said, okay, wait a minute now. That's how you know she can sing, because ain't nobody just gonna pull out a Whitney Houston song if you can't sing. And you totally did that. So what inspires you to just say, I'm about to do these covers? And then also, I know your fans request covers. So what has been like one of the hardest songs that they've requested you to cover?
One of the hardest songs they've requested me to cover, it depends on how emotional the song is. I feel like I'm always up for the challenge, you know, so I feel like vocally I'm always up for the challenge. But emotionally, if it's like something that I really can relate to, I think the latest thing that I have recorded that I haven't posted was The Climb by Miley Cyrus. I think that song is so beautiful. It made me cry each time that I would like sing it. So I'm like debating on like re-recording it right now so I can like do it while I'm not in tears. But like it really depends on if I can like, you know, stay up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And what inspired you just to even like start doing it?
Oh, what inspires me to just do it? I feel like, you know, people will never know if you have a gift if you don't show them. True. People will never know what God is giving you. Yeah. If, you know, and this day and age is, you know, people are, this day and age, and it's not even the fact of what inspires me. It's like, yeah, I got to get people to care a lot about my music by showing them that, you know, I'm worthy of, you know, their like, I guess them wanting to see me sing. I want people to care a lot about the music that I create personally. So it's like, okay, well, let me sing songs that they already care about.
Got you.
So it's more so of like, okay, let me just grab these people with the songs they already know, and so that I can also grab them with the music that I'm creating, because I believe in my music tenfold.
Yes, as you should. Yeah.
By the grace of God. Yeah. So, you know, if I can get them with one of them songs, then I can get them with mine.
No, it's great marketing. It's like, I know y'all listen to this song and my mic is going to be on.
It's going to be on.
So let me show you
that the mic is going to continue to be on.
Hey, come on now. I love it. Okay. Now, staying on topic of your most dedicated fans, what would you say is the most impactful statement that a fan has said to you? Because I've seen their comments to you and just how they've really opened up to you and thanked you for being vulnerable. It's like, what was one impactful statement that just really stuck out to you and let you know, like, okay, my music it's healing. My music is reaching these people that I wanted to reach.
It's been a lot, but I guess one of the most recent things somebody has told me is that I think my music like reassures them to keep going. I think someone told me that they listen to my songs every day.
Oh wow.
And again, like with the healing aspect, I feel like she was like, "Oh yeah, it just heals me, so I need to listen to it." And like saying that they need to listen to my music, that was a very reassuring thing to hear.
Yeah.
It was a confirmation that I need to keep going.
Right.
Because if I'm healing myself, then I must, continue.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
It's been a lot, and I feel like I'm not saying, like, it's been some crazy ones where, like, somebody's made me cry on spot. I just can't think of them right now, but the most recent one was that, saying that I need to listen to your music, so, yeah.
I love that. Girl, keep it up.
Shoot, I'm gonna try.
No, you are. You are doing it. Now, speaking of all the many talents you have, you also have voiceover credits for Nella, the Princess Knight.
Wow.
And PBS Kids, Pinkalicious.
Goodness gracious.
Yes.
That's deep.
I want to know because I do voiceover acting. Yeah. And I'm like, that's dope. Like, I absolutely love that. I want to see more of us in that space.
Yeah.
So was that always a goal of yours, or was it just something like, somebody was like, I want you to do it, and you're like, okay, I'll do it.
Placed that in my lap. That was not on my journey. Wow. It wasn't in my eyesight. God just placed that in my lap while I was on Broadway. I'm very thankful about it. Very thankful. It kind of just happened. Yeah. It wasn't like I was well, the thing is, when a lot of auditions that I be having, they'll like throw them at you, and like it's like, okay, well, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And I'm gonna say yes to whatever's going to propel me. So I did it, and I by the grace of God, got it. So
on the resume. Okay,
it's on the resume.
Okay, indeed. Now something else is on her resume. If y'all didn't know, we're pulling it out tonight. Co-produced and performed the song for Olay's first American Sign Language, ASL, commercial for Rhythm of Olay. How was that experience? Because I saw the YouTube. The song is dope. The jingle is dope. It took me back to Jamie Foxx show when he was creating jingles. And I was like, dang, this is real life. Like, Josey doing this, And the comments were like, oh, my God, I love her voice. Oh, my God, can I download this song? So what was that experience like? And for the people wondering, can they download this song?
No, they cannot download the song. It is not my property. Gotcha. But I think the experience was very beautiful. I think that was my first look into writing for other people.
Okay.
I think that the whole thing was beautiful. I got to be on set. I got to see the whole thing play out in the studio with folks. I think it was like a one and done type of thing. It was really fun. It was really cool. I think that was one of my like best memories of Broadway, being in New York. I think that was a really beautiful experience because everybody was nice. Yeah. People was like, oh my gosh, you wrote this. This is so cool, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think that was a very beautiful experience. That's crazy that you said that. I wasn't expecting you to go there.
Well, I'm curious. Like, okay, so if any company in the world was like, we want a jingle and we want Jai'len, like, what company would you want that to be? Like, if you could write a jingle for any company.
If I could write a jingle for any company, a shoe company.
Okay.
What's black on?
Girl. Shoe wise.
New Balance. I don't think they black on, but
they a vibe.
New Balance would,
And I can see the commercial right now. Yeah.
I can too.
Okay.
Don't know what it was sound.
Oh, my girl. Let's get this on and pop it, okay?
Yeah, New Balance.
That would be cute. I like that. Okay, now, we spoke about your mom a little earlier, but you were born into the music industry. Shout out to Mom for being the first intern at So Def, then transitioning to their creative director.
Wow.
So I want to know, your mom already being in the industry and knowing how it goes behind the scenes. Was it hard to, like, get Mom and Pops on board with the idea that you want to be an artist as well in this industry?
Not really. My mom was putting me into extracurricular activities that had to do with the arts since I was a young girl. I think I didn't really have to convince nobody. I think everybody was on board. But I mean, like sometimes, you're my dad and but once they saw that stuff was picking up and I had a gift, it really wasn't like any type of question. It was like, okay, well, let's support her in any type of way that we possibly can. And my mom has been supporting me and still has been supporting me since I was a baby. Like, there has not been one performance that my mom hasn't been to, whether she'd be there in spirit or in person. So I feel like there was no, I didn't have to convince nobody. My mom has always had a love for music, and my family has always had a love for the arts. Like, my grandma can look at a painting and paint. She can look at something and just paint it. I got family members who magazine designs. Like, I feel like it was just destined. It wasn't really like a thing where it's like, oh, she should have been a doctor. Oh, she should have been some sort of scientist or something like that. But I do like if I wasn't going to be a singer, I was gonna be a marine biologist. Okay. I likes the water. Okay. I do. I do. That. Yeah. So they would have probably been like, oh my gosh, marine biologist too. Right. I won the science fair in high school for bioluminescence. In another world. In another lifetime, I am a scientist. But no, I ain't had to convince nobody.
That's good. Yeah. And like the arts have a special place in my heart because, as I said, my mom's a music teacher, so I feel you. Grew up in plays and theater and the orchestra and singing with the symphony. But people don't even realize, and I hate it, that arts are like, I feel like they're not fully supported like they should be, and people trying to take it out of the school. So like, just in your career, I would say, what's one thing or one lesson that you took from being in the arts growing up that still sticks with you today?
One thing I took from the arts growing up, just to push through. I feel like if something goes wrong in the show, you got to keep it going. You got to find a way to fix it right there on the spot. Right. This is my livelihood. This is my life. This is the thing that heals me, So if people are coming to see you perform, if people are coming to, see you put on a show and they're paying money, like, you should do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you have to keep it going. And you can't really like let your thoughts, you can't compare yourself to others. Like, what's for you is for you. Like, that whole thing is the truth. As cliche as that sounds, it's just the truth. It's like, regardless of these obstacles that are happening, like, if the schools are taking art out, you better go find you a place that do art. You know what I mean? Like, if there is some sort of obstacle in the way, you have to make a way for yourself. Like, I'm not really like the type to like get into it, but they're talking about taking TikTok off of streaming platforms, but God forbid. But I think that there are so many ways to showcase your art nowadays. True. And
find a way.
God doesn't give you a talent just to like, for you to like, just got to find a way to like showcase the talent that God gives you.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's not easy.
No.
At all. But
it makes it worth it.
Ain't nothing easy.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. Now, I want to get into your new projects.
Okay.
Southern Delicacy and Conversation by Payphone. Honey, the songs they're giving is emotion. The cover for Southern Delicacy, I love it.
Thank you.
So good.
Thank you.
So who or what inspired these projects? It's let's get into it, because you talking so real on these songs.
It's crazy. There was a whole different project before Southern Delicacy. It was called, I don't want to say it because it might still come out. Okay. But there was a whole different project, and it got scrapped by my first label. Okay. And I was distraught. I'm talking about songs that I was writing since Broadway, But I think I was happy at the fact after I wrote the songs. I was like, all of these songs are better than anything that I put on the first one. I mean, some songs that I think still are so beautiful. But But when I started writing all the new songs, when I think the first song that I wrote was "Pay for My Drink." I believe "Pay for My Drink" was the first one, and then from they was coming back to back to back. And you know what's crazy? I was in this I don't even know what to call it. It was like I don't know what to call it. It was like this online course that they decided to put me in or whatever. I don't know. It was some sort of thing that the label thought that I would benefit from. I didn't benefit from it. I didn't. But while I was in the thing, you know, you had to keep your camera on.
Okay.
And so I was on the computer, and I would have the Zoom open, and then I would have Logic open at the same time, and I would have my mic off, and I would kind of put tape on the camera a little bit so they could see a side of me, half of me. But then I would be on the mic on the other half of it, and I would be on Logic, and I would be making them songs back to back. When I tell you, I was so bored in them Zoom meetings, but I was making bangers after bangers. And the things that was happening was "Pay for My Drink" was about a situation that happened with all my girls. Like, it's a wild story. We were at some bar, and this guy was just like giving us, I'm talking about one of the most free weekends in Atlanta that you could think of. I'm talking about everything was free. And then we found out that he was a scammer kind of later on. But after that, "Pay for My Drink," Willie's interlude is about my grandfather. This is before he passed away. And like, it was just about, you know, things that he taught me, like his stories of, you know, being an Army vet and, you know, just being in, you know, Vietnam, the story of like dancing his nights away while also, like, you know, seeing bombs in the sky and fireworks and whatnot. So that's Willie's interlude, just stories that he told me as a little girl. What else came after that? Southern Delicacy was also a thing. I think that was like the third song. I'm blanking. Behave happened in the studio. Good Soup I wrote in, but then Good Soup was written in another state. I wrote Good Soup in LA. And I wrote Take Me Higher in LA as well. So the majority of that EP was written secretly during a Zoom call class. I was trying to hide myself. But I needed those, and I'm talking about, I was crying after the first EP was scratched.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
It was very heartbreaking. I felt like, you know, I lost my kids or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that was precious to you. That's your baby.
Yeah.
So I understand.
And then Southern Delicacy just happened. And then Conversations from a Payphone happened after a horrible breakup that I just recently went through. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, he was giving me mixed signals and he was playing me. So I made Playground.
And it came out as a masterpiece.
Thank you.
So even though it was hurtful, you still rose up out of it.
Period.
I know that's right. Look, it's healing. It's healing. It's therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? And whoever that is, don't play with my girl again.
He's blocked on a lot of things.
I know that's right. X out the bad energy. Good energy moving
Bad
forward.
energy he was. Yes.
Now, I also want to ask you about your tour. You did 2 tours last year, okay? And you had your first solo tour. Killed it.
Thank
did
you.
Amazing. So what was that like? And I know you got love for all the cities, because I ask people this question and they always want to be like, I love all the cities, but I really want to know, like, what city would you say was your favorite city to perform in?
On my tour, Atlanta.
Your home.
It's home. Brooklyn was fire too. Brooklyn was crazy, but Atlanta was beautiful.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta was so beautiful because I sold out a show in my own city, and that's a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it was on my birthday.
Yes.
Oh, my birthday. It was so pretty. Right. It was beautiful. People were singing my songs word for word, bar for bar. You know, I don't know. I had my whole family there.
Yeah.
It was just very beautiful. I felt safe.
Ooh. That's deep.
Like, I didn't mess up that night, but if I did, I felt like it's okay. Like, I really did feel safe. I felt so happy that I was doing something that, you know, magnified the path that I'm on. I'm talking about, it was a very like sacred night for me.
Yeah.
I was crying.
I was gonna say, did you shed any tears?
I shed too many tears. And then after we went to a haunted house.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you say you were a Scorpio.
Yeah, I'm born on Halloween.
Oh, wow. Okay. My sister's a Scorpio, so.
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra. I was born 10/10.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
My sister
That's
was born
nice.
11/15, and I like knowing many Scorpios in my life. I just feel like you guys are just so like sweet. Like you guys are sweet, but let somebody push the wrong. But it's like Sour Patch Kid. But y'all are so like y'all are very like passionate about things and just emotionally. It's a good thing. But y'all special human beings.
I love people so much that when I give 100% of myself, and then I feel like if something like happens, I'm just like, why would you do that to me? Because I wouldn't do that to you. And then the conversation just dwindles, and I'm just over the person at that point.
Yeah. I'm not Scorpio, but girl, I feel you the same way. Very, very loyal. So I get it. Okay, I want to ask you, because I've also seen your transition and seeing you just come into your own just era and womanhood and just who you are and just owning it. And from your pictures, you giving looks, you giving body is tea. Okay, outfits be on point. We talked about the makeup, so not the fist. So what is the new era of Jai'len Josey? What does that look like?
The new era of Jai'len Josey, I feel like owning up metamorphosis.
Okay, I like that.
I think just between you and I, my next era, or I guess album in a sort of a way, it's like it happens after my grandfather's funeral. And so it's like what grief did to change me. I feel like after my grandfather passed away, it was like something changed. Like I had to figure out a lot of things about who I am. Like I realized, and just spewing a lot of things. Like I realized that me and my ex were together because of trauma, because he was there when my grandfather passed away. So it was like detaching from a lot of trauma and like morphing into this new person. And like with that came weight loss. With that came figuring out a new form of like doing my face. Like I was looking in the mirror one day and I was just like, something got to change. Like my hair wasn't done, which ain't bad. My hair wasn't done. I had not a nan lash in my eye, not a nail on a finger. But I was going through grief.
Correct.
And I was realizing that whole thing was my grieving process. And the way that I got out of that was, falling more in love with my friends and falling more in love with, the things that make me happy, my music. Getting, this year is so crazy, like building a deeper connection with my family, with my friends. I'm learning how to, even though like I thought that I was a great communicator, there was this one woman who I came in contact with. We don't really speak anymore, but she told me, she was like, you just need to be self-aware so that you don't turn into your abusers. And it's like, if you are self-aware, then, how I communicate with you, our relationship can last for however long it's supposed to last. If I'm able to communicate how I feel, and hopefully you can do that in return, I can do that in my relationships. And I feel like that is a part of my metamorphosis. The way I communicate to people, how I present myself. I've been in the gym. My legs hurt. My tummy hurts. But I know that it's for the greater good. If I what's the saying? If I gotta stay ready, so I ain't gotta be ready, get ready or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like I'm just gearing up for something. And while I'm on that journey of like, I feel like I'm at like a really nice point where I don't know if I'm grieving anymore. I feel like I'm like, sometimes I feel like my grandfather is like communicating to me, so I don't know if that is still a form of grief, even if I see him, but the metamorphosis that grief puts you through is what this new era is. I feel like I am just a new person. I'm not the girl that I was last year or the year before. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for each versions of myself. You know what I mean? Like the trauma, the crazy boyfriends, the crazy me. You know what I mean? Like I'm very
I feel you, honey. I feel you. But it's so good that you're able to like acknowledge that, and like the woman said, be self-aware about that, you know, because so many of us can't make that transition or can't grow because we're still stuck in what used to be. And I just saw the interview with Regina, and she said that grief, how she looked at grief is like it's basically having love with nowhere to go. So realizing where that love that you have, where you can place it in other things, and you say yourself and your friends and your family, will all just help you to just continue to become the woman that God has called you to be. So that's really beautiful that like you're aware of that, and that you're sitting in it and you're living in it, you're acknowledging it, and like I don't know you like that, but like you seem happy, like, you know, you seem like you're at peace and you're continuing to like achieve that. Yeah. Because as somebody who was crazy too about my exes and doing crazy stuff, I know what it's like to feel crazy and to be triggered. Yeah. But once you heal and you grow into the woman, it's just like, oh, it's calming. It's so calming. Like, you don't even have the energy for it anymore. So, okay, they're like, we tired of y'all talking about that boy stuff.
Tired of y'all talking about them men.
Okay, so this is your last and final question.
Okay.
For the Level Up Challenge. If you could headline any festival in the whole wide world, what festival would it be and why?
If I could headline any festival, what would it be and why? Okay, we're going to reach for the stars.
Go for it.
Coachella.
I know that's right. Listen, because I tried to tell them earlier, that festival is top tier. And
yes, it is.
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these, some on the you know, on the, I guess, second runner up, So Bloom. I would love to headline that. It's so R&B.
That is like so like that's gonna happen. Coachella gonna happen too. Like, so all these festivals really are called. What are we doing? Like, we need her on the lineup. But the fits too, like, you gonna kill the fit.
Sure. Let me tell you, we are ready.
Shout out to your stylist.
Her name is Styled by YB. Yeah, get at her. She know what she's talking about.
I love how you always shout her out. Like, that's real love.
Yeah. Y'all take care of the people that take care of me.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, before I let you go, I have to ask you, any other new projects coming up soon? Any singles? Any performances? What are we looking like?
Singles and a project.
Okay.
Timeline to be
TBA.
TBA. That's the abbreviation.
Okay.
TBA.
Okay.
But yes, it is coming.
Okay, good.
This year.
I'm excited.
Me too.
And if you have any like listening parties or something, please let me know. Because I'm in there, girl. I'm gonna learn the words to sing my heart out. And then how can people keep up with you, support you, follow you?
Yeah, so you can support me in all the regular ways. I'm on all social media platforms. Just type in my name, JAI''LEN JOSEY. Very creative, I'm sorry. And then I guess for the music, you can do the same. Just type in my name. I love to follow back. I like to make friends. Yeah. So any social media app or music app, just type in my name. I'll be there.
Y'all support my girl. She's extremely, extremely talented. She's already doing great things, but greater things are coming. It's a lot of people sleep, but they gonna wake up real soon.
Real soon.
You mess around and be an EGOT out here because you got the talent. Seriously. So y'all support her. And as always, make sure you guys follow us, like, comment, subscribe, drop any names of anyone you want to see. Come to Sky Lounge, sit on the couch and converse with us. We thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. And until next time, we out.
Bye.